What's up guys, Mike here. Today I'm going to teach you how to do one of the sickest tricks in kiting, the dark slide. Now it might look difficult at first, but I've taught shitloads of people to dark slide and none of my students have ever failed.
You're going to ride in on edge and you're going to try bring your kite all the way up to 12, slowly up to 12. Then when it gets to 12, you're going to roll into that position, bending your front leg, straightening your back leg, and pointing the toes.
Let's get the body position right on land. I'm going to do my dark slides to the right and I want to slide on this corner of the board. It's my toe side, rear corner of the board. So grab a bar stool or something that you can lean on to get into this position. So you want to lean on the bar stool and then you want to straighten your back leg, bend your front leg, and point your toes. And that's going to put that corner in the water. So the common mistakes you want to avoid are not pointing your toes enough. Then you're going to have a lot of drag and you're not going to get that board properly upside down. Another common mistake is to straighten both legs, which will have the entire rail in the water. And then the last common mistake is to bend both legs, which will also put the rail in the water. So straighten the back leg, bend the front leg, and point the toes. Now let's hit the water so we can work on the kite movement.
So the two most important things for a dark slide are speed and line tension. If you go fast, you can do a long slide. But since you're watching this video, I assume you want to do your first dark slide. And I'm going to show you just with moderate speed. So I'm on my 10-meter pace pro. The wind's probably about 25 knots on the gusts. And according to my SURFR app, I'm going about 30 kilometers an hour. Kite up to 12. Just falling into that position. Now, if you don't go fast enough, you're not going to have enough airflow over the kite and the kite won't help you glide. The next thing is you need to keep line tension by rolling the board underneath your body. So I bring my kite up slowly towards 12 and I roll the board upwind. So you don't want to fall forward over the board. You want to roll the board upwind of your body. That's going to keep your front lines nice and tight. And it's going to give you the support you need from the kite to keep on sliding. This is what it looks like when you fall downwind of the board. Now it still works, but you lose quite a bit of line tension in your approach.
If you want to get better at kiting, then be sure to subscribe to my channel.
So when you've got good front line tension, you'll be able to ride with the bar pretty far out. And you bring the kite up with the bar sheeted out, and then you pull the bar in to catch yourself. Normally with the jump, we're going to pull the bar in to jump like this. But with the dark slide, you don't want to pull the bar in to jump. You want to pull the bar in to catch yourself. It's very common for people to try go into their dark slides and pull the bar in whilst the kite is coming up. Let me show you what that looks like. So people have this habit of, okay, I'm going to bring the bar up and then I pull the bar in, and then I get pulled away from the water. Very, very common mistake when people are going for the first dark slides because we have that habit from our normal jumping technique. So your mission is to roll into the position and then you pull the bar in. And when you feel like you're running out of power, then you can either loop the kite with your backhand or you can steer the kite forward. Let me start by steering the kite forward just to teach you that part, because that's the safest way to get out of your first dark slides. Unless you're already really good at doing things like back roll hand drags, then I suggest that you first learn to do it without a loop. So to do without a loop, I'm going to let this kite drift back to 11 o'clock and then I'm going to steer it forward quite aggressively. So I go into my dark slide, back, and then forward. So you dark slide, you let the kite drift over to 11. Then when you want to come out of it, you pull on the front hand, steer it forward from 11 to 1. And that'll give you the lift you need to come out of it. So that's how you exit with the front hand. Now let me teach you how to exit with the backhand. Your goal is to let that kite creep along the edge of the window till it's all the way at 9 o'clock, and then you pull a nice chilled loop. all the way at the edge of the window, nice and far behind me. And that's gonna make sure that loop isn't very powerful. So the way you get that kite over to 9 o'clock is by overtaking the kite as you slide and slowly steering it back along the edge of the window so that you overtake it and the kite ends up going all the way back there. Let me do it for you one more time. There we go. So guys, the number one rule with kite loops is once you start pulling the loop, keep pulling it. It's very common for people to start pulling a loop and think, oh, it's not working. And then they stop halfway and they crash the kite hard into the water, or worse. So if you start pulling a loop, always just commit and finish it.
Pro tip, press your rear foot down into the strap so that you press the tip of the board down into the water. If you don't do this, the board will bounce around or your legs will come swinging forward under your body, ending your slide prematurely. I don't know about you, but I'm always a little bit embarrassed when I finish early. Premature dark slidulation.
All right, next thing is how to make them nice and long. The very common mistake with people they do their first dark slides is this. The board comes swinging forward. If you don't keep your foot pressed into the back strap, then that board will swing forward and you won't be able to stay in that nice long dark slide. So putting it all together into a nice long dark slide, I'm gonna hang on that bar after I pull it in to slide as far as I can. I'm gonna keep that back foot pressed into the strap, keeping that board engaged with the water. There we go. And then I'm gonna teach you how to do a dark slide with a back roll. Woohoo!
Guys, I've got a Patreon, so if you want to support me in making more how-to videos, then you can do so using the link down below. Every patron is gonna get their name included at the end of all of my how-to videos. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments down below. And otherwise, I made another video for you. You can watch that one over here, and you can subscribe over here. Muchos besos and adios.